Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name's Inverted Joker and welcome back to Rainbow Six Siege Pro Tips. The topic of today's video is going to be playing on the objective, and I get asked quite frequently how to play on the objective or for tips on how to play the objective. And as simple as it does sound, there's a lot of people that don't use the very fundamentals of objective play on Rainbow Six Siege because they don't know certain things and they don't quite understand Peeker's advantage and other things like that. So I'm going to get into those today, and for once, yes, I'm going to show you guys some examples. So in this first clip, I am playing as Rook on Canal on the objective boat supplies, playing secure the area. The very first thing I'm going to do in a situation like this is prepare myself to be the last one alive. I'm only partied up and queued with one person that I know and I know I can depend on, so I don't really know what my other teammates are going to do in certain situations, or if they can be trusted to watch certain angles or roam efficiently. So I'm going to play the objective, and I'm going to play it like I'm going to end up being the last one alive. So I cut out the wall from the entrance that leads in to the connector hallway, from the back door to lockers / bathroom. I cut that wall out, so if I'm the last one alive, from the position that I'm holding, I can turn around, look through that wall, and see who's coming through the back door. I'm also setting down a deployable shield to watch this door through the window, and also if somebody blows the wall out, I can look over and watch the wall as well, and I can alternate back and forth between those 2 points of interest, and I'll generally have the dominant angle no matter where they come from, because between the shield and the wall, I'll be able to see the slightest little angle that's almost unusable for an enemy to use on me, but I do have the drop every single time, and by the time their head peeks into that little tiny angle, I can see straight through that window, and it will equal a headshot. Also, I can lay down and turn to my right, still without anybody through that doorway seeing me, and see the feet and bodies of people that are near the wall, and on the other side behind the boat, so that way, I have both angles covered, and the person that's behind me has one job, and that's to watch through that wall into the doorway, and also rotate around and look at the stairs if the need arises. So the best way to play objective is to hold multiple dominant angles like the ones that you see in the gameplay before you, and when they do thermite a wall or they breach a hatch, the worst thing you can do is take off running, especially if they already know where you are. Because you do hold that dominant position, you should be able to cover every angle that you could possibly cover from the position that you're in. So them blowing open a wall or hitting a hatch really doesn't affect you at all. You're waiting on them to peek you. You don't have to move, so don't panic and take off running. Another really bad thing to avoid like the plague is getting tunnel vision. You only need to check an angle once every 4 or 5 seconds, because if you, say I zone in on the door right here, looking straight through that window, and somebody comes from my right, even if I hear him and I ignore him, I'm dead. Even if I look through this doorway and I hear him running up, I'm probably going to be dead the second that I turn because they have the drop on me. So if I, every 2 or 3 seconds, switch my focus from the doorway to the wall, I can generally avoid any sort of contact, and I am listening very hard for audio cues, as you seen me a second ago kill Thermite because I heard him running up. We went ahead and skipped ahead in the gameplay a little bit, and my teammate did call out that someone was pushing into the objective, and he wasn't able to secure the kill, so I do turn around from the point that I'm going to call it of dominance, and get an easy headshot on Ash, because I know she's going to be one of 2 places. She's either going to be head glitching behind the bomb, or she's going to be behind this filing cabinet, because she didn't have enough time to push from there to anywhere else before my teammate called it out. So in the next clip, I'm queued with one other person again, and my other teammates really cannot be trusted. Everyone has a job to do when defending an objective. No matter what the objectives are, everyone has a job. Everyone has an angle to watch. Everyone has a area to cover, and if they don't do that, you become the last one alive very quickly, because someone else's mistake turns into a bunch of mistakes, which turns into a loss. So for instance, the person that we have playing Pulse right there sat on his heartbeat monitor for forever, didn't push out the shotgun one time, and had C4, and never did anything until it was too late, and he does end up dying here in a second. So when he's sitting there, it can only make Jaeger assume, since Pulse isn't using a microphone, that no one's there, so he overpeaks the corner and does get overtaken. Again, we have someone upstairs roaming. It ends up being Frost. Here in a second, you're going to see her run down the stairs and shoot one person, rather than continuing to push forward when she knows that there's not much time left on the clock, which means there has to be more than one enemy there. She kills one, runs back upstairs, and then for whatever reason decides to run back down, which is the worst play of all time. That in turn gets another person killed, and it ends up being me versus 4 enemies in a high level, high ranked game. So I'm gonna let the rest of this clip play through, and then we're gonna go back and kind of analyze what happened and how I did end up pulling off the win.
Seconds. 10 seconds left. Biohazard container. 5 seconds left.
So right here at the beginning, when I know it's 1v4, I'm not gonna freak the fuck out and start running all over the place because I saw so many people die around me. They don't know where I am yet because they don't have a drone in here, and for whatever reason they decide not to drone the area because they're so confident since they were able to walk through the rest of the team that quickly. So I'm going to sit here, they have no idea where I am, and I'm going to wait until I hear sound cues, and based on those audio cues, I'm going to react accordingly. At this exact moment, my sound whoring is kinda off, and I shoot late at Sledge, but I realize he doesn't see me for whatever reason, and I turn my attention over to my left, shoot those two, wait a second, recorrect my shot on Sledge, and I take my time and take the shot. Luckily for my team, I'm competent enough to run Valkyrie, and I do have a camera hidden. My teammate calls out that the last attacker is going to be coming from the direction that the rest of his team came from. He just doesn't know if he's going to be on my left or right, so all I have to do is sit here, sound whore, and listen for which direction he's going to be coming from. He's got one of two ways, to my left or my right. I hear him here in a second coming from my right, so I do turn to my right and I wait. I'm not going to run out and fucking pressure him and shoot at him because God knows how that's going to go. I'm going to wait for him to walk up to the angle that I need him to walk up to, and then take my shots from there. So I hope these examples were enough for you guys. As you can tell, I'm kind of shitty at live comms, so give me a little break if I did stutter or say the incorrect word when I was trying to say something else. I don't do like live comms too often with examples, so if I fuck something up, my fault. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and until next time, my name's Inverted Joker, and I'm signing out.